Probably give it a few more minutes and then I'll kind of get started here.
Hey guys, what's up, Derek Funk?
Hey, how are you?
Good. How about you? There's Matt. We're just in two separate rooms.
No, you're good. You're good. I was joking. Yeah, pretty slow day for me. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, nothing has
So,
happened at all.
Yeah. Hasn't been too bad. Whoa, that's super bright. Okay. Let me know when you want me to start. I'm gonna try to hit a couple of topics, talk about Epic, and then obviously some Q&A if need be or anything like that.
Yeah. And when I entered, it said that you were recording. Is that right?
It said you started recording. I didn't start it. It just said Wondermaker started recording, or the host started recording.
Well, okay. Let me.
Yes, we are recording.
Okay, cool.
I was like, it wasn't me.
I was like, man, Derek, on the
absolutely
ball.
not.
Also, it wasn't me because I wasn't even in here.
I'm a little bit more buttoned up when things get recorded, so no worries, no worries.
Okay. Got it.
There we go.
I guess we could wait. I mean, we have 72 people in here.
Well, we can wait, no worries.
We can wait like a minute.
Sure. Not a problem at all.
Hey guys.
How was your guys' day? Was it as busy as mine?
Yeah, really busy.
Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna have fun comments later.
Yeah.
Please be nice. I didn't make the decision.
No, wait. Listen, no. I messaged you about this. Our group leaders chat. We were like, they need to be nice to those BDMs. They're incredible.
Yo, today was bad. Today was one of I was the one. I've scaled back socials a bit, but I was the one last year or 2 years ago that made the announcement like you guys don't get EPA on 1-day tickets anymore. I was the one that did that, and I was like taking bullets out of my back for like the next 2 days because people were so unhappy. I was like, I didn't make the decision. Me and Mark didn't sit down for coffee, and I was like, you know what sounds like a good idea? Taking that perk. So yeah, no, it's tough. I kind of knew today would go like today, unfortunately, but hopefully we'll talk about salvaging the stay and stuff like that. And it'll get easier in the future. It's just right now for the way tickets are set up, it's going to be a pain, unfortunately.
Yeah. I think we're probably good. I mean, we're over 80 now. It'll probably be where people keep coming in, and that's okay.
No worries. Let's see did that share the whole screen? I can't tell.
Yeah.
Can you see the presentation? Big Derek Funk?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So if you guys don't know me, if I haven't met you yet, if you weren't down here when you guys had your big retreat meetup, I am Derek Funk, your guys' BDM, East Coast and West Coast, just as a heads up. I'm going to talk to you kind of about upselling the destination pre and post Universal. Hollywood does play a role in our business as well. So I do want to just talk really quickly on something that's coming up. I've spoken to a lot of my account owners, agencies, agents, and they don't even know FanFest is happening. So I'm just going to start off on the West Coast at Universal Studios Hollywood. We have a brand new event this year that we're really excited about, and that is Universal Fan Fest, running from April 25th through May 18th. So Hollywood might pick up a little bit this year, or the West Coast might, with Disneyland 70th coming. I think it's a little past that. I think it starts in June, if I am not mistaken. But Hollywood is a completely different destination. FanFest is from the creative minds of Halloween Horror Nights. And so we're bringing a lot of fandom. We've gotten a lot more information, dove a little bit deeper. And so I'm going to kind of touch on what we're bringing to life. Think of like MegaCon done by Universal, kind of. But so Back to the Future is one of the big names here. If you don't know, Back to the Future, huge fandom, but also it was filmed in the back of Universal Studios Hollywood. It is the largest and oldest movie studio to this day. So they still film there every single day, movies, TV shows, things like that. But like the Bell Clock Tower and some of the most famous scenes from Back to the Future was filmed at Universal Studios Hollywood. We're recreating those sets and having different actors come out, and you can meet with Marty McFly and Biff and all types of other experiences, kind of reminiscing, jumping right back into that movie and time traveling with Marty. So Back to the Future is going to be a really big hit. If you're a huge fan, that's going to be a good one. Star Trek Red Alert. So again, Star Trek, huge fandom. That's why I kind of mentioned the whole MegaCon thing, if you will. You are going to jump into a mission on Star Trek where their ship is kind of being attacked by a monster. If you are a big Star Trek fan, you're going to notice some of the things that we're bringing to life with projection mapping and sets, things along those lines. I'm going to be honest with you, I've never watched Star Trek, but it has the fandom that people are going to be really excited about. It's decades and decades of fans for Star Trek. And then the most popular role-playing game ever, Dungeons and Dragons: The Secrets of Waterdeep. So we are again bringing this one to life here. You are going to kind of go through the world of Dungeons and Dragons. You also will be on a mission to save the city of Waterdeep. So all of these three are going to be really big hits when it comes to kind of that sci-fi huge fandom. On the West Coast, they have a really big like anime culture over there, and One Piece Grand Pirate Gathering is another IP that we're bringing to the parks. If you don't know, One Piece is a anime where you're joining Monkey D. Luffy and his pirate crew to find the buried treasure, which is the One Piece. That being said, this anime has been going on for decades. It's like over 1,000 episodes. If you haven't seen it, Netflix actually made a live action of this, so that kind of gives you an idea of how popular it can be. So there's a live action on Netflix, but if you watch the actual anime, there is over 1,000 different episodes. So again, a generational show that people have been watching for years and years. And then Jujutsu Kaisen Hunger of the Cursed is another very popular anime. It's more new school, if you will, though. You're joining Yuji Itadori and his classmates. They go to Jujutsu High, which is essentially they're fighting curses to kind of save the world. So fun fact, if you don't know, Universal Studios Japan, actually one of their lands is always some type of anime. It does change, whichever kind of was popular at the time. And it is occasionally Jujutsu Kaisen. Over there, if you can think of our parks where Shrek used to be, Shrek 4D, that is their theater over in Universal Studios Japan, but that is kind of the attraction that this one's going to be. So this is going to be a movie attraction in Hollywood. Their Shrek 4D is Kung Fu Panda at the DreamWorks Theater. So that is going to be housed here with all types of food, merchandise for Jujutsu Kaisen as well. So really, really popular anime. And then we are building on the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, of course. So here we're actually bringing some fantastic beasts to life as well. You're going to be able to meet a Niffler. You might run into a baby dragon as well. And then this year we did bring a new show to Hogwarts Castle. It didn't run for that long, but that was called Hogwarts Always. It didn't run for that long because it became the Dark Arts show and then the holiday show, but we are bringing Hogwarts Always over to the West Coast for the first time. And so that kind of tells your story of your first year through Hogwarts, kind of being sorted with the sorting hat, maybe winning a Quidditch game, the Triwizard Cup, things along those lines. So if you're a Potter fan, just more characters, more theming into the Wizarding World. And then because they do have Super Nintendo World for the first time ever, you are going to be able to meet Yoshi. So he is a fan favorite character. And so you are going to go on an egg hunt with Yoshi. And if you find all the different eggs around the world, you will be able to meet a different colored Yoshi as well. So that's going to be a lot of fun. The attractions and mini games will be open as well at Super Nintendo World, which is one of my favorite lands in all of theme parks. So just adding Yoshi to it as a meet and greet, I'm really excited. So that is kind of Universal Fan Fest nights. I don't remember, Jenny, sorry, I just have a lot going on, but you might have some people going to our Hollywood Fam. I know Mardi Gras is coming up and you got like 12, but if you guys do have people coming to the Hollywood Fam, unfortunately it isn't included in it, but I'm staying an extra night myself because it starts at the end of that fam. So I will be going opening day on April 25th. So really, really exciting time. You might want to look into that if you're into any of these fandoms. But it's the first time ever we're doing it from the creative minds of Halloween Horror Nights. We're hoping it's a big hit. To be honest with you, we're hoping it's our next HHN. And if it goes really well, we'll probably bring it to the East Coast and continue to build on the different fandoms and things like that. So just an upselling opportunity if you need a little bit extra for Universal Studios Hollywood. There is a QR code here. This takes you to the Supplier Showcase in back. So there is a Supplier Showcase for East and West Coast. And this will kind of tell you more about the event. There are all types of tickets you guys are able to sell. So feel free to scan that or just find it later on in backs. And then when you talk about the East Coast, so that's all we're going to really touch on regarding Hollywood. But there's a lot of special events and reasons to upsell Universal Orlando besides just Epic Universe, because the really big focus, and it's going to kind of come full circle at the end of all this, is length of stay. And 3, 4, 5, 6 nights at Universal Orlando is the goal. Just to kind of get through the elephant in the room, Epic Universe came out with one-day tickets today. People just focusing on Epic Universe would be a failure on like us as a company. We need people to come for those 3, 4, 5 nights or more length of stay and see us as a multi-day destination. And there's all types of reasons why, but special events is just another reason why you guys should. So right now, Mardi Gras is going on. I love Mardi Gras. My number one, to be honest with you, is the holidays, because I'm a Christmas guy. And then it becomes Mardi Gras. Super, super important. It's so much fun. The weather is amazing, in my opinion. And then until the middle of March, we're now getting into it, but early February and into the start of March, crowds are pretty low, and then you run into spring break. So the back end does really well, but I think early February, it really, really undersells for the entertainment and what it is. But the nightly parade is so much fun. I was just there the other day with my girlfriend. She literally just wanted to see the parade and then grab a small bite to eat. So it's something just really fun to do and really different from the normal mega movie parade, which is also awesome. Live concerts on select nights. International cuisine is a big one. And then the themed tribute store is always fun to walk through. I love the live concerts. Me and all of my coworkers went to T-Pain. It was a blast. They play 60 to 90 minutes at the stage right under Rick Ride Rocket. So it is a full-on concert. If they are on tour, it is the set that they're going to play at local venues here like House of Blues or Hard Rock Live or something like that. They're not really playing Amway. They're playing Mardi Gras, to be honest with you. They're kind of in that middle group of what venues they're booking. But T-Pain was a lot of fun. Joe Jonas, if you didn't see TikToks that went viral, people waited literally 12 hours. They got their park open and sat in line until the concert later at night around 8 o'clock. So they were that dedicated. I also went to Foster the People. I'm a big fan. I literally have paid to see Foster the People perform. So be able to ride Hagrid's and then hop over and see Foster the People. Awesome, awesome night. And then my coworker O'Neill, that I go to the parks with all the time, is a huge EDC, EDM guy, and he went to go see Illenium and said it was super fun. So there's really something for everyone. There's a couple more concerts going on. I think it's hilarious that DJ Pauly D is coming. My coworker Gina is really excited for TLC. So all types of things. It's included with your admission once you kind of come into the parks. And then you do have Mardi Gras Float Ride and Dine. If any of you guys are on here that are doing the fam, you will be doing this. It's really fun. But it essentially is guaranteeing you to get on the float. So I always recommend watching the parade from the ground. I always recommend, if you can, get onto the floats. It's a lot of fun. Me and my team usually do this as a team builder every year. But Float Ride and Dine is an upsell for you guys. It is basically a 3-course meal somewhere at Cowfish, MDC, Finnegan's, or the other restaurants listed. And then you show up to eat about 4:30-ish, 5, and then you make your way to the back of the park near Animal Actors to get ready to go on to the Mardi Gras floats. So the starting price is $95.84 for all ages. It's a really fun upsell. It's a really just different thing that you can do because all of the floats are so authentic to Louisiana and so different. There are hundreds and hundreds of people that wait on the parade route, and you are throwing beads for the full 30-ish minutes that you guys are up there. You're going to have a really good time. I'm excited for, I think, the 12 of you that are doing the Mardi Gras. Feel fam. And then we move over to Halloween Horror Nights. Halloween Horror Nights is so popular. I recommend anyone to come to this event just because it's really different than what a lot of people think. A lot of people are just not into it. I just highly recommend it. If you're local, you need to get here because the local market is what drives this event. If you are Georgia, Florida, Alabama, everyone I know in Orlando gets tickets to Halloween Horror Nights, whether it's one-day tickets or the multi-day pass. But it's 10 terrifying haunted houses, 5 sinister scare zones, a live show, some killer merchandise, and unique food and beverage options. It's starting August 29th, running through November 2nd on select nights. I guarantee you, if you go with agents or go with a group of friends or something along those lines, you will have a blast. 95% of people that have never been and are terrified to go that end up going, that are travel agents, are either regulars now or come every other year or have a blast and want to do it again. So I highly recommend doing Halloween Horror Nights. And then we do have to finish out the year. Again, this isn't anything. These are all just add-ons of why you should come to our destination besides Epic. And that is going to be the holidays. So the holidays, so much fun depending on which park you're at. And if you're at Universal Studios Florida, you have the Macy's Day Parade, those giant balloons. I love me a balloon. I love Christmas time. I love Christmas music, theming. It's a lot of fun. Grinchmas over at Islands of Adventure with the Hula Day Spectacular, which is our Broadway style live show, is hilarious. Super fun. It's great. You can also meet the Grinch. People waited 6 hours last year to meet the Grinch. So another upsell opportunity is the Grinch character breakfast. That is kind of showing why they should use agents, because you can upsell them, tell them, hey, start your day with a great breakfast, meet the Grinch, and you're saving possibly literally 6 hours of your day. I don't think any meet and greet is worth 6 hours, even though the Grinch is our best meet and greet all year. And then if you're a Potter fan, we have the Christmas in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. So all types of theming. The entertainment is a little bit different. The nighttime show on Hogwarts Castle, I think the holiday one is the best one all year personally. And then some really fun food options. And the resorts are obviously themed to the holidays as well. So those are the special events. If people are worried, is there enough for me and my family to do? Maybe they have little ones. I highly recommend the holidays, adding on the Grinch character breakfast, adding on the Hula Day Spectacular, the Who's running around, seeing the nighttime show on Potter's Castle, or on Hogwarts Castle, sorry, on the nighttime parade. All of that is, I'm not even mentioning rides. I'm not mentioning Minion Land or DreamWorks Land or Soups or anything like that. You can easily, if people are skeptical, make a day out of just like holiday things. Go into the tribute store, try the food, meet Earl the Squirrel. The list goes on and on. Mardi Gras, again, you guys probably won't be booking it this year just because booking windows are usually 3 to 4 days out. But if you can get down for Mardi Gras, if you've never been, it's really great to experience it. The people going on the fam share all of the information, all the photos, videos. It's a lot of fun entertainment, really good food, eating the different countries, eating and drinking around the park, if you will. And then Halloween Horror Nights, that will be here before you know it. And again, we call it our 13th month on the books. It's so popular. And then we don't really upsell it that much, but Rock the Universe is also a separate ticketed event that is usually in the end of January. It's one weekend, which is our Christian rock concert. If you guys deal with youth groups or anything like that, the pricing for Rock the Universe is insane. It's the best way to get some youth groups and things like that to our parks. But again, a very busy event. So on the theory or on the idea of kind of upselling, it's just really important to know your options here. So Express, you have one-time use, you have unlimited use. These are standalone tickets. I don't remember if when we went in training while you guys were down here, if we talked about the combo ticket, that is including your admission as well as Express. That's a way to commission Express. That, to my knowledge, is not coming back after Epic Universe opens. So your main two options for Express will be as a ticket, one-time use or unlimited use. It's not commissionable, unfortunately, but those are ways it really does game change your vacation. Instead of doing this, always recommend looking at Royal Pacific, Hard Rock, Portofino for that unlimited Express that is given to you for staying at those resorts. That is only for Islands of Adventure or Universal Studios Florida right now. If you're asking, will Epic ever be included in that? I don't know. And then also Epic will also have its own express, but it will be something along the lines of, my guess will be the one-time use, at least at the start. It may get its way to unlimited use, but when Epic goes, Express for Epic goes on sale, my guess is it will be one-time use at the start, but I'll take questions on that if you want. And then VIPs, again, I'm talking of what's available right now, non-private tours and private tours. Focus on non-private tours when you talk about upselling. Signature collection is another upselling point. I did want to get through VIP, Express, talking about special events and Epic, and then if I have time, I'll circle back to signature collection. It's in the deck, they're just hidden right now. But non-private tours, wildly important. I would say they're becoming, I don't want to say less important, if you will, but the idea with non-private tours is if people were looking to come to Universal for one day, this is the best experience. You get your breakfast, you get your lunch, and then you hit 10 of the main attractions. I say it's becoming less important because we don't want to focus on that one-day sale at all. But if they're coming in for Islands of Adventure, Universal Studios Florida, a non-private tour is great. Private tour, you just need to know what your client's booking. Are they booking the sandals? Are they booking the Disney VIPs? And if they are, this is perfect for them. It's right in line with that type of pricing. They are alone and it's private, and they are in charge of the tour. If they want to ride Hagrid's 15 times, they can. If they want to ride Velocicoaster 4 times, back row, right in a row, they will say, cool, no problem. You guys are the boss. Non-private is a highlights tour. You can only be, your group can only be 6 people, because once you become 7, you become majority because the groups are up to 12 people. So your group size can only be 6. If your group is larger than 6, you do need to do multiple non-private tours, which you will not be together, or do a private tour. So kind of going over it as I kind of just went through these items. When I talk non-private, this is the one you really should focus on, just because private, it prices people out. It starts at like $3,600 for 5 people, not including your admission. But non-private VIP, it's a 7-hour guided walking tour. You do get front of the line access to the top 10 to 12 attractions. That's Hagrid's, that's Velocicoaster, probably whole Rip Ride for now while it's here. Gringotts, Forbidden Journey, things like that. If you don't hit one of your favorite attractions, like maybe E.T., Men in Black isn't always in there. If for some reason you really like Cat in the Hat, that's awesome. But Unlimited Express after the tour is given to you. So that is a big upsell. You hit all of your favorites after, and after the tour means that day. It doesn't roll over to anything else. To start your day, you do start with a breakfast buffet, and then lunch is somewhere in the park. I recommend offering to the guide trying to go to Mythos. You get the best bang for buck if you end up at Mythos, but you could do Leaky Cauldron, 3 Broomsticks. Confiscos is another good option as well. And then you will get some behind the scenes access. I've done a VIP tour and I've walked under the mummy track. It's just a really cool experience going to places, even if you're a pass holder, you're not allowed down there unless you're on a tour. Seeing the back of Spider-Man and seeing them work on the vehicles, those ride vehicles are $1 million vehicles. Doing the immigration tour at Men in Black, that's where you go downstairs and you sign in your name because you're signing into Earth, because they obviously stop aliens. So there's a lot of fun things that you can do that you only get to do if you're on a VIP tour. On top of your day being on autopilot, you don't worry about breakfast or lunch. You don't worry about waiting 2 or 3 hours for Hagrid's because it doesn't even have Express if you pay for Express. So you will be walking through the exit and you are the next person on the ride. It's not going in the Express line when we're talking about the East Coast tours. Again, this is for Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios Florida. When it comes to Epic Universe, they will have VIP tours. To my knowledge right now, please don't quote me, it could change. But Epic will have its own VIP tour. It's not going to be a VIP that tries to hit all of the rides at Epic Universe and then maybe Hagrid's and maybe Velocicoaster. It will be just for Epic Universe. And then if you want a VIP tour for Islands and Universal Studios Florida, you will get the 2-park non-private or private tour, whatever you're looking to do. You also do get valet parking if you are coming from, if you're local, if you're coming from Disney, if you have a rental car, that alone is a $70 value for valet parking, which is crazy. So by the time you eat breakfast for the family, you get your $70 for valet parking, you eat your lunch. Sometimes the difference between a VIP tour and express is like you're breaking even with just that, because buffet breakfast at the resorts is 30, I think it's $34.99 plus tax. We did a lunch at Mythos, and I think it came out to like $40 or $50. My coworker Gina broke down a post for her, and then valet parking alone is 70. So that sometimes can be low season for VIP tours, and then for express, usually there's $150-ish difference if you break down the food and valet alone. Not even including the time saved or the knowledge you're going to get from the Easter eggs and things like that. You break even. So that can really change your book of business. Getting ahead of myself again. So starting at $239, again, low season for express. I don't think I really see it any lower than $130 for unlimited express for both parks. So low season, it's about $100 difference. Again, if you break down valet parking and the other ones, you're probably actually in the green. But that is low season. There's usually, like I said, about $150 to $180 gap. I still think it's incredible value, especially for those peak seasons, for the summers, for the spring breaks, near Epic Universe, around Halloween Horror Nights. If you guys don't know, there is an RIP tour, which is our VIP tour for Halloween Horror Nights. There's a reason why they sell out, because it's the best way to do HHN and get all the houses done. It's nearly impossible to get all the houses done without express or a RIP tour in one night. And then hopping over to Epic. So I'm gonna kind of go over everything if no one is aware of it. It will be a little repetitive if you were on the call today, and I'm very sorry for that. But after that, feel free to put any questions into the chat. I'll hit it that after. I have been to Epic 4 or 5 times. I'll be there again tomorrow. So I know the ins and outs pretty well. Things are still being worked on and stuff like that. There are only 2 rides I haven't been on. But we are finally bringing it to life. Super Nintendo World and Celestial Park, Dark Universe, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic, and How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk. Finally. The park, it is weirdly big, but doesn't feel that big because there's always something you're looking at. When you walk through the first portal, which is the Chronos, that's the entryway, you'll choose right or left, essentially. This right here, if I think you can see my mouse, I hope. This is the Atlantic. This is one of our full service dining options here. Just the scale of the building, like you're kind of just distracted by it. And the next thing you know, you're at the portal for Super Nintendo World. When you pass Super Nintendo World, you're then looking at Oaken Star Tavern and then Constellation Carousel. By the time you're kind of done looking at that, you're already at the new portal or see the new portal of Dark Universe. As you're kind of rounding and distracted by Helios, you end up at the portal for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. And as you're kind of passing that and you see people screaming from Stardust Racers, you end up at the portal at Isle of Berk. It's just weird how that works. I was only there for 3 hours the other day and I left. It was really quick. I was just doing certain things and I left and I looked at my watch and I was like 12,000 steps in 3 hours, just because, again, it's just weirdly big, but it doesn't feel like you're walking around that much, which is just odd. But Celestial Park, when you walk in, you see it is the world between worlds. That's how we're kind of showcasing it. And you're going to start seeing the fountains and the trees and the flowers. I'm going to be honest with you, at least from my experience right now, it just needs time to bloom. Obviously, things were just planted. So we're hoping it gets a little bit more greenery, if you will. But you can kind of see that for me, what's the word? Not rehearsing, but previewing it. You see the vision. It's just not fully there yet, as expected, because it's not open to the public. And then the 2 main attractions is Constellation Carousel and Stardust Racers. Again, also, you might have seen some leaks online. There's going to have a different lighting package with all types of LEDs all throughout the park that can kind of sync up. I haven't been at night yet. Our things run till about 4 p.m. So I'm excited to get in there at night. It's going to be a completely different atmosphere. Stardust Racers is amazing. I finally got to ride it with them dueling. I hadn't done that until the other day, but them dueling, it's just something else, to be honest with you. It's so much fun. If you don't like Velocicoaster, this one will not be for you. If you do like Velocicoaster, you're going to love this one, especially with them dueling. You get so close to the other cart, and team members have been hilarious because you're doing launches next to each other. You're going upside down next to each other. I see people like playing rock, paper, scissors, like as we're launching or like as we're going upside down with the other cart. Super fun. It's just different. If you love a white knuckle coaster, you're gonna love that one. Constellation Carousel, it's gorgeous. There is just things being done right now around it, but we were able to ride this. Again, it's very different. It's not like any normal carousel. It is going kind of up and down normally. Each thing goes 6 feet into the air. But also, depending on where you go, it will spin 360 and kind of take you in all different rotations, if you will. The best way I can explain it that you guys will kind of understand the track, it's very similar to Alien Swirling Saucers or Tomators, whatever it's called on the West Coast, where certain pieces of the track kind of go in circles, but others don't, if you will. So when you go onto the ride, you will notice the circular pieces of track, and you'll be able to understand what I mean when you get there. You'll want your constellation to be in there. Those move a little bit more. The ones that are not located in the circles will be a little bit more stationary. You'll still go up and down, but you'll do a little bit less spinning. It's nothing crazy. I just think it's more fun when you're on those specific ones. And then Super Nintendo World. So this is bigger and better than the West Coast. So if you haven't been, it is a fantastic world. It feels like you're jumping into the video game. There's kinetic energy. Everything is moving. So many animatronics. It is 2 levels though. And just a heads up, being very transparent. If you guys don't know me, I give like the highs and the lows of everything. There are a lot of stairs in this world, like a lot of stairs. So you come in on the 2nd floor to get down to the 2nd floor. I'm sure there's elevators all over. But there are a lot of stairs to come down to the 1st floor. If you're riding Mario Kart, there is quite a staircase in there to get actually down to the attraction. But it's just bigger and better than the West Coast in every single way. The main ride is Mario Kart Thousands Challenge. If you have ridden the one on the West Coast, it's nearly identical. The technology is a little bit better. But if you won't notice the differences too much between if you've been on the West Coast or over to Japan. And then Minecart Madness, this is the one of the 2 attractions I haven't been on. I'm hoping to hit this tomorrow. So I can't give too much insight. But it looks like a lot of fun. You're jumping the tracks like in the game of Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country, though, really well themed. It's super fun. The one thing I will say is I've heard my coworkers said it's a little bit shaky, but it's like purposely shaky because you're on a minecart. So I'll circle back with me on this one, hopefully tomorrow. And then Yoshi's Adventure, it's really cute. The kids are going to love this one. It's a really slow Omni mover, and it's a little bit interactive. You're following the Yoshis, and you're finding 3 different colored eggs. There's a piece on the, kind of right on Yoshi's back, if you will, where you click the color when you see the egg. And hilariously enough, like it's meant for kids, but my coworker didn't see the blue egg. It's like kind of hidden, but not really. But so I guess it's not super easy. I saw the blue egg. There's only 3. The other ones are pretty obvious, but it's good to kind of interact, and it will match up with the power-up band. But this one is going to be really good for like photos, videos, reels, TikToks. I think you're going to see a lot of these once media and you guys kind of get in there. And speaking of the power-up band, you can pick what team you want to be on. So Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, Daisy, Yoshi, Donkey Kong, and Diddy Kong. Those are the 2 new ones from Donkey Kong Country. You can get the rest over at Universal Studios Hollywood, and they are cross-platform. So Japan and Hollywood and Epic will all be interchangeable, so you don't need to buy another one. You'll just need to link it into the app, which is really cool. But this is essentially the wand of the land. You can go into the land without a power band, but to collect coins and do all the mini games, and there's actually a mini game that you can't do unless you have a power band because you need to complete the other ones. It just makes the experience better. I highly recommend it. You can share them if you want, or you can buy obviously multiple, bring them over from the West Coast, but it just makes the experience all that better. And then meet and greets. You have Mario, Luigi. I think we announced Peach, and then Toad will be meeting as well, but no Yoshi. Like I said, Yoshi will only be able to be met at FanFest as of right now. Then we go to Dark Universe. So this is a lot of the local favorite, or team members are really excited for this. Again, it's just very different. Once you go through the portal, which they're all massive and gorgeous, they look just like this art. You are in the village of Darkmoor. The main, not villain, the main character is Dr. Victoria Frankenstein. So she is collecting the monsters and kind of showcasing that we are able to, or she is able to harness their power and control them. So you're going to run into Wolfman, Dracula, Frankenstein. Igor is a roaming character. It's just a lot of fun. Think of kind of like Halloween spooky, not really HHN spooky. They're not there. There's no scare actors or anything like that. Igor is actually really funny. The way he interacts with guests. You can meet the Invisible Man as well. But so you're just kind of immersing yourself into this world. I will say, being, again, very honest, that this world is a little bit, it's been a little bit of a weird one for me, because going into this dark universe, no pun intended, dark village, at 10 a.m. is weird. It's like trick-or-treating at noon. You just don't do it. It's kind of odd. So I can't wait to get in here at night when like you're meant to truly be in there. But there's a lot of fun to be had. Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein experiment. I have been on this. Think of Forbidden Journey on crack. It's recorded. I shouldn't say that. Think of Forbidden Journey, but like to the next level. But the good thing is I can't ride Forbidden Journey because I get motion sickness, and this one is a little bit better for me. I definitely feel it still, but not as bad as Forbidden Journey. The reason for that is Forbidden Journey is like 75% screen and 25% live set, where it's reversed. A lot of this is live set. The scale feels huge. The animatronics are terrifying and massive and lifelike. While the world is not scary, for the little ones that aren't super adventurous, I would maybe not do this one. We've labeled it as our most terrifying attraction. And as an adult, it's fine. But for a younger kid, like 8, 9, I would just be careful, just because the animatronics are so lifelike, and there are 14 of them, and Dracula escapes and kind of wreaks havoc. Curse the Werewolf spinning coaster. Again, we're kind of calling this our family-friendly coaster. It's actually a lot more fun than I thought it would be. But so this looks terrifying, but to give you an idea for this, I actually think kids will like this one, because while I've been on it, the animatronics have been kind of going through it a little bit. You actually go by it so fast. The first time I rode it, my coworker didn't even notice the animatronics. So we'll see when they're kind of up and running, like full force, and everything is running super, super well. But it's so fast that I don't think kids are going to even be too worried about this one, which is good, because hearing Curse of the Werewolf in this photo being a family-friendly coaster is hilarious. Darkmoor Monster Makeup Experience. A lot of my coworkers have actually done this, and this is a lot of fun. This will be available in Vax and commissionable to book. But this is kind of turning you or your kid into a monster. I think it's like a 20 or 30-minute experience, so it's pretty quick, but it looks quite good. Again, we're not able to take any photos, but I literally saw today my coworker Anthony became a werewolf. And it looked really good, especially in like the 20 or 25 minutes they said. You'll also be able to buy some other things like a tail, claws, the headpiece if you want to be a full-on werewolf, and other things like that. So you'll really be able to immerse yourself, again, thinking of Halloween and dressing up as those monsters and characters. I really do think kids are actually going to love this land a lot. And then Das Steakhouse for where you will eat. Das Steakhouse, you're eating in the catacombs. The theming for this is great. I ate there the other day. Food was pretty good. You're going to your table and then you're actually ordering in the app. If you've ever been to Minion Cafe, most of the restaurants are very similar to that. So get used to the app and get your clients used to the app, link the credit card, understand how mobile ordering works at the table. There is always a register if things are kind of struggling, but that is how most of the restaurants you order your food. So really, really important. But the theming here, Das Steakhouse is owned by Dracula. So the familiars are kind of some of the vampires there that are working under him, that are all kind of in character. It's a lot of fun. And then you will be able to meet Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Igor, as I mentioned, the Invisible Man. The Burning Blade Tavern is in the back of the world. This is kind of a bar and a place to grab some food to eat. The windmill will catch fire multiple times a day. I will say the one thing that kind of shocked me about this is quite small. Think of like a little bit bigger than Hogshead. So a very fun themed bar. And that's where the bounty hunters kind of put all of their trophies, if you will, of monsters. But it is quite small. And then the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Ministry of Magic. So this is 2 time periods. And I didn't know what that was going to kind of be like until I got in here. But Harry Potter and Battle of the Ministry, this is ride number 2. No one has ridden this yet, unfortunately. They're just kind of figuring and working things out, but we'll get there. That being said, we were allowed to walk the queue, and if you know me, I am hypercritical of theme parks. It is the best queue I've ever been in my entire life. It is jaw-dropping. It is insane how detailed it is. It is levels above Gringotts and Forbidden Journey. If you're a huge Potter fan, the way you get into this, I don't really want to spoil it in front of everyone, but feel free to message me on the side. But just the way you come into this queue, taking the Metro flute, you can kind of see it here on the left-hand side, to start you into this queue, it's jaw-dropping. It's incredible. So this is storytelling and Universal and the Wizarding World at its finest. If you are a Potter fan, you are just going to continue to love this one. If the ride sticks to the landing, it's quite possibly easily the best theme park ride in the world. And then the show in the world is going to be Laissez Cirque Arcanu, I believe. This one, a lot of fun. And so the idea here, so the world is actually 1920s Paris from Fantastic Beasts, but the ride, you take the Metro flute to the 1990s British Ministry. So a lot of it is based in the 1920s Paris. That's what the entire world and buildings are. But here, the ringleader took Newt Scamander's briefcase to kind of invigorate the circus because no one was going to see it. And so here is kind of live acts, all types of different projection mapping, puppets, things like that to bring that story to life. You will see Fantastic Beasts. Some of the puppets are fantastic. The actors are really great. Again, if you're a Potter fan, you're going to love this one. People were cheering, crying when they saw this show. It's a lot of fun, again, if you really love the Wizarding World. And then at the Café de la Serene, I didn't eat here, unfortunately. The Butterbeer crepe has not been available, which is what I'm really trying to get. But inside, it's gorgeous. You have all of these tiled artworks, and very subtly, you're going to find Fantastic Beasts in them, maybe a hidden Niffler or stuff like that. So it's fun to see the dragons and stuff along those lines, serving up that French cuisine. And then How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk. This is what I was most looking forward to. And this is our biggest world. Excuse me, at Epic Universe. And when you go into it, you are fully immersed and it looks incredible. This one actually did live up to my hype, which is very, very hard. Hiccup's Wing Glider is our family coaster here. Hiccup is working on an invention for us to fly with the dragons. As we're putting the wings on, Hiccup or Toothless gets a little excited and sends us on our way a little bit early. This is my favorite ride in the park. I think it's incredible fun. The speakers are playing the soundtrack from the movie, which is great. It's awesome. It's one of my favorite parts of the films. You see Toothless. It's going through the land. Again, kinetic energy all around with all the animatronics and other rides moving. It's like a... It's hard to say this. The way I've been wording it is like it's a less good Hagrid's because Hagrid's is so good. I think it's the best attraction in Orlando. But this is my favorite ride in Epic Universe. If you're a huge How to Train Your Dragon fan, it's a lot of fun. And then the Untrainable Dragon, saw this the other day. It's great. It's fantastic. It's my favorite show in the park personally. The puppets look great. Hiccup and Toothless fly above you. The projection mapping is so much fun. The score, again, the music from the film is really what just kind of puts the film over the top for me. And it's great. If you love How to Train Your Dragon, go see the Untrainable Dragon. It's awesome. And then Dragon Racers Rally. This one is interesting. I don't really know how to talk about this one. You will go on to one of these flying things here. I really need to work on the spiel. But you'll decide if you want to kind of leaning and deciding the way the wings go, how much or how little you want to spin. I'm excited to try this again. I think little ones are gonna actually have a hard time with this. They'll be fine going on it, but I thought it was gonna be similar to like having a joystick and deciding like if you go left, right, or how fast you spin. You're actually leaning with your body weight, and it's quite difficult. I actually wasn't able to spin at all. So I don't know if they're still tweaking things or stuff like that, but it's just different than what I imagined, but still some good fun to be had and really good views of the world. And then fire drill is absolute chaos and fun. You are going to get soaking wet, so it's another classic like Dudley Do Right or Popeyes. If you're willing to get wet, it's a lot of fun. You're shooting targets, but more importantly, you can really get a good view of it here. So you have targets that you shoot to kind of actually do the game, but this target here, there are a bunch of mock targets, or like they call them like random surprise targets. If you shoot those, they shoot the boat back at you in some way. And all I did was shoot those targets and get my team soaking wet. I thought it was hilarious. I think this ride is as much fun as you want to make it. And when I ride it again, I will be doing that every time. Just getting the people next to me soaking wet and just laughing and having a ridiculous time. Fire drill, so much fun. And then Viking training camp, huge play area for the kids. This one's closed off because it's only a team member preview and we don't want to kind of mess things up for the kids. But I'm excited to see my coworker Gina get her 3-year-old Araya in here. Looks like a lot of fun. It is huge. So she's actually bringing her to our family and friends preview next week. And she's purposely avoiding this area because she knows Araya would spend too much time there and they want to see other things. So circle back on that. And then Mead Hall, again, it's themed to where Stoic gave all of his talks. The dining locations, I don't even have all of them on this deck. All of the dining blew me away. The theming is incredible in every single one. How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk, it's actually not even in here. Mead Hall is the like big one to speak on, but Spitfire Grill has some of the best theme park food I've ever had. They have a steak bowl with sticky rice and mushrooms and sweet potatoes, really good. They also have Astrid's like shrimp bowl with sticky rice and broccolini and shrimp, and I get it every time I go. There's another really quick location that does mac and cheese cones in a Cuban bread cone. I get it every single time. How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk has like some of my favorite theme park food ever. And then you can meet, pick up, and Toothless. Astrid and her dragon are roaming. Rough Nut and Tough Nut are roaming characters. You can run into Gobber. You might see a dragon flying above you using drone technology. It is one of the best theme park worlds ever. It has lived up to my hype in every single way. If you love How to Train Your Dragon, you will love Isle of Berk. And that is kind of everything. I mentioned the food here, so there's just some food items. Again, the theming is great. If you've eaten at Toadstool Cafe, it's really good. The Mario Luigi burger. Das Steakhouse has some fun themed as well. Again, going into the catacombs, trying to still hit the butterbeer crepe. We'll try again tomorrow. And then Mead Hall, I tried the platter here where you get the chicken, the sausage, fries, some salmon over there. Try everything, but Spitfire Grill is where it's at. So good. And then, I did have in Celestial Park, Open Star Tavern, their mango bread is like disrespectfully delicious. Like it's so good. So good. So try the barbecue there if you're feeling barbecue. Open Star Tavern, really good. And then last, just be aware of where it is. Before it opens, Stella Nova right now, as far as can be from what is open. Terra Luna will soon open as well. And then Helios right on top of the park. Just so you know, Stella is the only one that is going to have a walkway when it does open for Epic Universe. Terra Luna will not have a walkway. So that's super important. And then if you want to walk right into the park, obviously you're staying at Helios. I don't know how long the walk is or anything along those lines. It's not open yet. So stay tuned for that. But you can't just walk from Terra to Stella and use the walkway. So if you are set on walking, Stella or Helios is going to be the way to go. Tickets and packages. I'm only going to mention one thing. So 1-day tickets. So these came out today. feel free to ask your questions on them. I understand the frustration. I understand modifying and how commission works and things along those lines. It's just the direction the company was going. But I really want to focus on you guys selling the destination as a whole with Mardi Gras and HHN. And we didn't even mention Volcano Bay or anything like that. 5 to 7 nights. If you guys already had them for 3 or 4 nights, hopefully you're just adding on a day of Epic Universe. Or moving forward, you'll be adding, maybe it's 2 days at Epic and then 2 days here, 1 day at Volcano Bay. That's 5 right there. The math makes sense to me. I understand it's much harder or much easier said than done, and people just want to go to Epic and they're excited about it. But again, if we move, fun fact, we do about 11 million in attendance per park. If those 11 million people just move to Epic Universe, we have failed. If you remember where I said Epic Universe first, the project art of the map, there were a bunch of tree areas. You can kind of see them here. This is a more realistic map. But if those are expansions, and if those 11 million, we don't continue to take market share from the other theme parks, we don't grow on that, those expansions won't happen. We need to become 4 or 5, I think 7 is kind of long, I'm gonna be honest with you, but 4, 5, 6 days for sure is how you should be selling Universal. And that's the way you'll grow. That's the way you'll grow tiers and you preferred. Your rapid growth already tells a great story, and continuing to hire is awesome. And I'm throwing fans at you guys left and right because of your story of growing. But as things kind of level out, I don't know if Ginny and Matt want to have 2,000 agents. Eventually growing will slow down and selling properly will have to kind of lead the way when it comes to growth. So that is kind of what's incredibly important moving forward. I understand mods right away because Epic is super, super excited. And that's why people booked right away when the ticket structure came out. But moving forward, talk to them about Hagrid and Velocicoaster and Seuss and DreamWorks Land and Minion Land and the Buffalo Chicken Tots at Green Eggs and Ham and the Born Spectacular and the Horror Makeup Show and Volcano Bay and Krakatoa Aqua Coaster and have a resort day. There are plenty of ways to upsell this destination. So that is kind of my spiel. I kind of hit the nail on the head with in 8 minutes left, give or take. I don't know if there are, I'm sure there are a bunch of things. There's a lot. Let me just kind of go through this. Is FanFest kid friendly as well? Yeah, it's super kid friendly. It's just all relative to. I know people. Fun fact about me: one of my favorite things growing up and now is SpongeBob. I think a lot of people don't let their kid watch SpongeBob. I've learned that recently. So it's all relative to what like is JJK, where they're fighting curses and like just killing, destroying them. You know, like is that friendly? Like you'll be able to decide that. But it's theme park. It's the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Super Nintendo World. I think they'll have a blast if they're fans of those things. T-Pain was fabulous. Ashley, yes, he was. It was so much fun. I really want to see TLC. Been on a float, super fun. Just make sure you stretch. Your arms really sore the next day if you don't do that. Riding the float is what made me love Mardi Gras Universal. Leslie, awesome. It's super underrated. Love riding the float. Love HHN. Sarah, you're rare in the TA world, which is great. West Coasters want to go back once they've experienced, unless it's even West Coasters want to go back unless they've experienced, unless it's me. Is that saying you don't want to go back? I'm kind of confused. I'm from Miami, and everyone knew it comes up for HHN. Exactly, Liz. It's so big being local. You did the right line. I'd assume so. Now you can, which is great. Volunteer HHN fam. There will be an HHN fam, so stay tuned. We usually do East and West Coast. So again, I am just throwing things left and right and Jenny all the time. Holiday tour is amazing. Didn't you mention the holiday tour? Good one, Sarah. Upselling opportunity to meet the Grinch as well. The holiday tour, it's super cheap. It hits all the favorites of the holiday, so that's a great way to do it too. Breakfast was amazing at the fam, and getting to know your own entry line was fabulous. I think that means the team, I think. Yes, Grinch Character Breakfast was the best. I love it. Really good food. How do you find out more info for Rock the Universe? Crystal, shoot me an email. And I'll kind of circle back on that because that can be really long-winded. Rock the Universe is so good. If you're a big fan, I know people that love Rock the Universe. Does it better than Disney? Your words, not mine, Leslie, but I agree. What's the difference between the two sides of Celestial Coaster? They're really similar. I don't think you will notice one. There is technically a green track and yellow track. They're really painted like yellow and like darker yellow. I don't think you'll notice one, to be honest with you. I think one has like a slightly different inversion. I meant Stardust Racer, Dueling Dragons was the best coaster. I mean, we got rid of Dueling Dragons for Hagrid's, and I think we leveled up, to be honest with you. So excited for this. Hollywood. Hyped about Dark Universe. Excited. Can't wait for this. The new wands are also great and can't wait to use them. Yeah, I was just in the park with an owner that bought a new wand, and I was there to I learned a lot about them actually and how they work. So I've seen so many people. If you're a Wizarding World person, it just makes the experience even more immersive. Spoil it. There's 80 people. I didn't know, I get into the nitty gritty, but I don't want to ruin people's stuff. Kept blubbering this. The crate is making me want to get there ASAP. You should come down. Toothless. I'm dying. Oh my gosh. For real. Did you put that, Jenny, to see How to Train Your Dragon? If they haven't, that should be homework. You shouldn't be able to sell Epic unless you've seen How to Train Your Dragon. So homework. It's awesome. It's going to be a sleeper world. Everyone's excited for Potter and Nintendo. You're going to be blown away by how it works. Will there be a test? No tests, unfortunately. There's training though. Fine, I'll watch it again. So watch it. Don't think I'm missing any questions. Disrespectfully delicious, but for the ages. It was so good. The banana pudding is really awesome there too. Can we add a day of Epic to a package that already includes Epic? Yes, you can. So that is the way to do it, is where you want to give them another day and that isn't kind of ruining your commission. A lot of people, unfortunately, let's say they have a two-day park to park plus 1 day of Epic. So they're getting 1 day of Epic, but it's a 3-day ticket. Some people are canceling that ticket or modifying that ticket and just doing 3 days of Epic. You also can do that. I know that sounds really exciting, but don't do that. You lose all your commission because 1 day tickets are not commissionable. So super important to know. And the goal of seeing the entire destination. So just be careful with that one. I understand you can bring the horse to water. You can't make him drink it always, but just really important. Added another day. So the commission on 1 day Epic Universe. I just said that. No commission, unfortunately. It's very similar to the industry, to us. We never do. We do commission 1 day park to park, but 1 day base single park tickets we don't. I don't think Disney gives you commission unless you sell 3 days. I think, yeah, something like that, ballpark. So it's right in line, unfortunately. The annoying part is if you have 2 plus 1 day of Epic, obviously you would be a 4th day of ideal commissionable, like 2 plus 2 days of Epic. But we'll get there eventually. Again, it's a phased rollout, and we're handling capacity and things like that. I have a group with Harry Potter 7 day on hold waiting to see if we could add another day, Epic Day. Well, you can now. Sorry if I don't understand that, Crystal. You should be able to add an Epic Day. You can buy multiple single days. Let me know if I'm misunderstanding that. No commission on 1 day tickets. It does count towards you preferred. Very important, of course. And obviously, you guys, sometimes right now, Epic is weird. You're going to not make the most money in the world because of Epic, just on commission, but you're going to show the service and they're going to come back to you, and Epic will be available for multi-day tickets eventually. And then they'll have you as your travel guide, obviously. 2 day slide says 1 day at studios. An Epic Day has a Florida resident ticket. Can't find that on the back. The 2 day slide. Does I have a 2 day slide? I didn't, did I? Feel free to speak, Candace, if you're still in here. The 2 day slide.
Yeah, it was on the slides earlier that Jenny sent us. It's like
okay.
and at the bottom it said there's a Florida resident deal, and I cannot find it anywhere.
Let me check for you. Vax has been finicky. They were missing FanFest night tickets earlier today, so I know that there was an issue being Vax down today. I would just double check.
Okay.
It might be back in there, and just let me know. This time, different ticket combo. You should be modified. Thank you for your help. Awesome. Only lasts 15 minutes each cent. It's too good for horror, and I can't handle it. Fair enough, Merrick. I said 95%, so you fall into the 5%. Speed rounds of opinions and answers. I'll answer anything you guys want. It's just I don't want to ruin things for people. Is this a hint that 60 Day for Epic will be about How to Train Your Dragon? That's handled by other people on my team, so I actually have no idea, to be quite honest with you. Can you book an annual pass plus Epic? You can book an annual pass and then a 1-day ticket of Epic. Yeah, sure, if you want to. It just won't. Your annual pass doesn't include Epic right now. I asked about clients who bought 3 days just for Epic tickets and it was a ticket only sale. Will they refund or let them change ticket only? Good question. Usually they're not incredibly strict. Shoot me an email. Let me find out because technically they're non-refundable. We don't always stand by that. Don't quote me, but usually we're pretty good about making things work, especially if you're just funneling the money in a different way. Bad do the card spin with Curse of the Werewolf for our motion sickness friends. I don't think it's any like better or worse than Guardians, to be honest with you. If you get motion sickness on Guardians, you might get motion sickness on How to Train Your Dragon. I get motion sickness very easily, like incredibly easily. So I can ride something, but then I need to break. And Curse of the Werewolf, I'm pretty good. Like I can ride another ride after that, but if it's like that, then Monsters Unchained, then like I need to eat food. Like I need an hour. So I'm kind of your perfect guinea pig, to be quite honest with you. I feel it after Stardust Racers. I don't feel it after anything after Pickup Swing Gliders. I don't feel it on Yoshi. I haven't ridden Minecart yet. But I rode Monsters Unchained twice in a row, and I asked someone for like etc. So just be aware of that. One time is fine, but two, I was like, Derek, who do you think you are? You need to chill out. Is there an Epic military pricing? Military is handled very similar to annual passes. You can buy a freedom pass, but you have to activate the freedom pass to then buy your like 1-day military ticket. I think there is a discount. I think it's like 5% because you have to activate it by coming here. It is smarter just to buy a 1-day ticket, in my opinion. But if you want to save like $5 per person, you can, I guess. But I would just buy the 1-day ticket just to have everything ready and done. Tyler, when I called last week, he said it'd be about 50% off the military pass. I don't think it's that much. I think it's like 5 to 10, to be honest with you. What are the park hours for Epic right now? For preview, it's 4 to 6, unfortunately. There are no night. We get out at 4. So it's bright daylight for us. Next week for friends and family, it does extend to 5 some days, then 6 some days. Our preview ends March 31st, and that day is till 7 p.m. I think it's 7, it's still light out. So they're holding the lighting really close to the chest and things like that, unfortunately. So you mentioned Epic and Express Pass. Can we assume we're allowed signature hotel guests as now? Cassandra, don't quote me on this. This is my take. I don't think it will ever be included at the hotels. I don't know if that's true or not. I just think the way I've kind of worded this, and I really have no insight on this. I know what Epic will or what Express will be when it comes out, and I know when it's coming out. I just don't know anything hotel related. I think right now when you book Express at a hotel, it's an incredible value. And before Epic Universe, we kind of had to outvalue Disney in a way. Like, oh, you can stay at a premier property or a signature collection property that offers Express and it's incredible value. I don't think we have to outvalue them anymore. That's my take. So with that, I don't think we will operate anymore. But we will see. That's kind of far down the line. And the idea of hours when it opens, Amanda, I'm going to guess like hopefully 9 to 9. I think we were giving you 1 day. You need as much time as possible, especially with breakdowns and things like that. It just things getting up and running. I was there the other day for 6 hours and I rode 3 things. So it's just all relative for capacity. How are things running? It's tough. Will there be fireworks at Epic? The project art has fireworks, and there's been leaks of them working on fireworks. I just don't know if it's for the grand opening event or if we're having a show. We haven't announced it, but it's in the project art, so probably. My husband showed me a video and it was real. Oh, it was real. Yeah, it was real. They were just practicing though for something. It's only been 1 time, so it makes me wonder: is it the grand opening event? Obviously, because that's super, super close, kind of. Can't wait to sit up all night, and you're welcome. So, any other questions? Hopefully, you took something from this. Again, there's a lot of good reasons to sell, even pre-Epic. There's a lot of good reasons to sell post-Epic, but as a whole destination is just really the big thing for me. We're excited to get you guys in there. Hopefully, there will be some hang tight for some opportunities and things like that. The people coming in Mardi Gras, I'm excited. If there are people going to Hollywood, exciting. And then we're just going to continue with fams down the, like I said, there will be an HHN fam. There will be another Hollywood fam at the end of the year because we do East and West Coast. But yeah, so I'm glad it helped some. Liz, we all kind of train different and we all have our different thoughts. Amanda's awesome. I think she's the one who did the one at, I thought it was at 2. But yeah, anyway, you learn something different from everyone and we all have our own different stuff like that. But if you have any questions, though, feel free to reach out. I'm super easy to talk to or find me, Facebook, email, really, really easy. Am I missing anything, Jenny, Matt, anyone else?
No, I think that was really awesome. That was rapid fire.
Yeah, tried to get through it. I told you earlier, I was like, oh, we're going to fly through these topics.
Yeah. No, that was awesome. We had over 100 people here at one point. So I think it was really good and a lot of just really exciting information that I know everybody wanted to hear about Epic. So that was awesome.
Yeah, no worries. I hope to get you guys in there. You guys are killing it this year. You're going to have another record year. So the tiers were pushed, but just keep pushing. I think, what are you shooting for, gold this year?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Appreciate the speed. It was easy to follow along. That's me to a T. I'm like straight to the point. So, yeah, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate the time. I'm excited for you guys.
Thank you, Derek.
Yep. Have a good one.
Bye, guys. Yeah.